Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Year's Best Dark Fantasy and Horror, Volume 4. Edited by Paula Guran. Narrated by Kristin James and Matt Godfrey. I like horror's acknowledgement that life is a dodgy and uncertain business, and a monster with a smiling face may live or work right next door to you. Adult human beings live with the certainty of grief, which deepens us and opens us to other people who have been there too. Peter Straub. Shadow Plane, Fran Wild. July 8th, 0400 hours. Latitude, null. Longitude, null. If you're seeing this, this is transmission 1 of however many it takes for us to be rescued. Or for as long as it takes for my sister and me to die on this mountain. I know our last post from Pero was very upbeat. I know Bella and I promised to show you the most secret peak in the Himalayas. Well, we're doing that, as promised. But the situation's changed. A lot. And we need your help. We'll keep uploading for as long as we can, as long as the handset holds out and the satellite stays in range. And before anyone says it, we're not doing this for followers. This is dead serious. We need you to figure out where the hell we are and send help. If no one locates us in time, and God knows we've tried, then maybe these recordings will serve as a record of what happened to us. To Bella and me, to our pilot, and to Meyerton, the guy who paid us to guide him to the top of a mountain no one had ever summited. A mountain that doesn't appear on any map. I know that there will be dark tales told at base camp if we don't make it back. There always are. I mean, everyone at Namti Bazaar was still speculating about what happened at the Sovyagi Pass, and that was last millennium. Shit. Why did I start thinking about the Sovyagi Pass? Okay. Breathe, Nicole. Stay calm. You're a survivor. You can do this. Friends, we're going to be fine. Nothing like the Sovyagi is going to happen to us. Especially if you, any one of our 60,000 followers, are out there helping us. Especially if you have your sleuthing hats on, or access to some fancy geological recognition software like they do on that old Rescue Matt Damon movie. Seriously, if one of you can run some neural network shit on the images I'm sending, triangulate us, do whatever it takes, okay? We'll keep broadcasting for as long as we can. Sorry, I didn't mean to get upset. I know you'll find us. Here's what else I know. Our Druk air charter crashed somewhere past Gankar Puinsam. Don't worry, we weren't going anywhere near Gankar. That place is off limits. And with good reason. No, our client claimed there was another mountain nearby that no one knew about. That's where we were going. I'm sure you figured out by now that my sister and I weren't just in it for the money. We wanted the recognition, to bag the peak for ourselves. That's why we were so cagey about where we were going and with whom. Don't judge. Everyone wants to climb something first. Everyone wants to find a place without footprints. But now, with the pilot dead, Bella stuck, and the instruments going crazy, I've gotta say, I'd love to see some footprints. Or a plane, or at least fewer shadows. If I'm honest, the shadows are the worst part of all this. The sun's just coming up now, behind the peak. It's making a huge, beacon-shaped shadow on the clouds. I don't think it's a real beacon, or that it's summoning anything. But in our current situation, it's hella spooky. I don't know if you can see the rest of the peak well enough yet to identify it, especially with the shadow. I'll try to get a better shot soon, once the sun's higher. Anyway, this is the crash site. I think we hit the mountain Meyerton was after, but we're on the wrong side or something. Around us, there's nothing but clouds and the kind of wind that gives you a headache after a while because it's so low-pitched. And the worst part? There's no air traffic. Sky's been empty for hours. And nowhere gets a completely empty sky anymore. I hope we're not nowhere. For a minute, just after the accident, I thought I saw a dark plane overhead. Just before, too, but that's gotta be shock. Or a weird shadow on the clouds. What are those things called? Brockenbows? Whatever it was, we haven't seen anything like it since. Before the crash, Meyerton was pointing out the peak, a crenellated edge that rises over a deep bowl. The bowl looks like something blew its way right out of the mountain, up around 19,500 feet, with snow so deep it shades purple, and parts of the zenith above it all melted too, which is crazy because the Himalayas are fold mountains, not volcanic. But maybe that will help you figure out where we are. Satellites have got to show something like that. Anyway, Meyerton felt very strongly that this was the peak he wanted to bag, on the other side, away from the bowl. He paid us cash up front. He wouldn't tell us why he wanted to get up here so bad. When we asked, he added more cash to the pile, and Bella put a hand on my shoulder, and I shut up. My sister had a better idea of our finances. She's in charge of the books and deals. I take care of the social media. It works best that way. Usually. But I still knew we were on the rails, and Meyerton's money would set us up for a season of peaks. Plus a lot less ramen for dinner. So I said yes and asked no more questions. I wish we'd asked questions. The peak we've landed on? Landed is a euphemism. You can see some of the AR-42 in the background, clinging to the cliffside. We're up around 20,000 feet. Below the beacon shadow, above the bowl. There's a sharp ascent. I'm positive no one's been up this side. On the plane, the way Meyerton talked about the other ascent, it sounded like he'd been there once, long ago. But he swore he was a researcher with little experience. And when we neared this peak, and the sun caused the mountain's shadow to angle out against the clouds toward the plain so it looked like a beam from a nightmare lighthouse, and darkness rippled in the bowl below, too. That's when Meyerton absolutely lost it. "Avoid that," he shouted, gesturing at the side of the mountain. "Go away." Meyerton unlocked his seatbelt and everything, even as we were going down. And when it was clear the pilot couldn't do anything to avoid it, Meyerton grabbed a chute and made ready to jump. That's when we hit, I think, with the dark night wind whistling through the open door and everything smelling like overclocked plane propellers. The dark came in and the snow with it, covering us like velvet until it was deep and airless in the cabin. And then we hit. When I woke up, Meyerton was gone, and Bella was stuck bad, and the pilot was dead. And now the compass on our iridium handset can't make up its mind where we are. Sometimes it says latitude 28.041 degrees north, longitude 90.45 degrees east, which is near Gankar. Sometimes it says latitude 0.0 degrees north, longitude negative 43.22 degrees east, which is impossible. And more often it says null, and that's the most frightening of all. How can we be null? It's gotta be some sort of interference. So we hacked the handset and hooked it up to our phones. We've got it, at least for now, so we can broadcast out. Even if we can't see your reactions, we can talk to you. Like an old-fashioned message in a bottle, except faster. Which is good, because we don't have much time. We're at 20,000 feet, I think. Half our oxygen and food fell out when the plane broke. I don't know that we'll make it through another night. So you have to help us. You have to figure out where we are. Because shit's getting really weird. July 8th, 20. 510. Latitude 0 degrees north, longitude null. Guys, this is transmission 2 of whatever it takes to get off this mountain. Can't get a good shot of the peak yet. Still too dark. Stick around anyway. I'll tell you a story. Not just any story. I'll come clean about the how and why of this trip. Even those of you who are with us in Nancy Bazaar, waiting for the season to start, don't know all of it. Maybe this will help you trust me when I say what's happening is happening. This isn't a stunt. We need help now. Meyerton found us in Nancy, cleaning rooms to pay our hostel bill, which was pretty sad, and we'd kept it off the feeds. Our sponsorships had dried up a bit, and Nancy, the darker part of it, was cheap, and we could keep our altitude. Bella and I kept posting old shots of our prize ascents, but word was getting out that we were hungry. Whoever sent Meyerton our way probably thought that they were being kind. I mean, he looked like an easy job. Skinny, pale, jumped at his own shadow. The kind of hiker who would follow directions, back down when the guide said it was better to wait. Bella and I had guided a lot of people like that since we took the snow leopard. But they just wanted to hike a few thousand feet and take a photo to send home. Meyerton? Friend, whoever sent that wreck? It was thoughtful, but could you now do us the favor of sending a rescue plane? Meyerton raised an eyebrow when he saw us. Peak baggers, just girls. Best in the business, I said. And we're both 21, not girls. He read off his phone. Nicole and Bella Burke. First siblings to take the snow leopard. First women, too. In that 1 year when Russia opened up. You were fast. You grabbed Ismoli, Jingish, Korzeniovskoye, Ibn Sina, and Khan Tingri one after the next and filmed the whole thing. Got you a huge follower count and some decent sponsorships. But that was a whole year ago. What have you done lately? It was a ruthless question. We'd done a lot of climbing, but nothing as spectacular. We were hemorrhaging followers and sponsors. Our Hallie Henson jackets were top-of-the-line sponsor gifts. From last year. Still bright, though. Mine orange with lime green seams and zips. Bella's blue with yellow accents. Neither Bella nor I answered him. Once you started bagging peaks, you were always aware there was someone behind you, ready to take over if you slacked. His pointing it out was putting us in our place. I need guides. He smiled a terribly thin smile. Want to climb something no one else even knows exists? You bet we did. And we didn't want anyone else to get in on it or edge us out. So we didn't say anything to anyone. Didn't ask around. After we cut the deal, we pulled our packs out of the greasy hostel before anyone else was up and hopped the next helicopter to Kathmandu, then a regular druk flight to Paro. That went so smooth, we started to relax, and Meyerton began to call the shots. A fully chartered AR-42-500 for just the three of us, loaded with instruments and gear that neither Bella nor I could figure out, and a knapsack he never let out of his sight. The plane was white with blue detailing. Royal Bhutan Airlines had a few nice perks. I might have had a drink on the flight, even though I know better. Meyerton was wound so tight it made me nervous. Those questions we hadn't asked back in Nancy? I wanted to ask them on the plane, but couldn't figure out how. Like, why did Meyerton know of a mountain no one else had heard about? And why hadn't he hired Bhutan area guides? Bella waved me off. Don't aggravate him. He's paying. We'll figure it out when we get back. As long as Bella wasn't worried, I resolved not to be. She's older, after all. But when Meyerton started whispering, "Do not be afraid," right about the same time our plane cast a shadow against a cloud, and then that shadow detached from the cloud and kind of became its own plane, my resolve shattered. Bella's did too. What we were seeing had to be altitude. Bella asked the pilot to go lower, She used gestures that could only be interpreted as airplane and down. Myerton and I mimicked her for emphasis, our hands outspread, tilting and dipping lower, to make sure the cockpit had enough oxygen. The whole time, that shadow plane kept up with us. So close, I could see its registration numbers in white on its tail. The reverse of our own. The pilot did what was asked, shaking his head at us. Soon we were rewarded with clearer skies and clearer heads. The shadow plane disappeared, but we emerged below the clouds, shaken. We'd both seen the thing, and Myerton had seen it too. That was too coincidental for oxygen deprivation. I had just shaken off Bella's cautioning hand to ask for an explanation when a sheer, dark cliff rose up before us and Myerton began shouting, "Not here! Never here! Get out of the shadow!" He pulled on a parachute and ran for the plane door. And then it was all darkness and noise. July 8th, 6:45. Latitude 999.99 degrees north. Longitude 0101.00 degrees east. Oh crap, you guys. I can hear that dark plane circling above us in the clouds. The noise shakes the ridge we're on. Bella whimpers whenever the wreck moves with the vibrations. And the wind picks up, that low howl. This is bad. It's so bad. It's going to come into view, right now. And it's gone again. You have got to believe me. It just circled out of sight. I don't think it's coming to rescue us. I don't know what it's doing. It's the exact same plane we saw before the crash. I keep yelling at it for help anyway, until it disappears. This is transmission 3 of number, "Get us the hell off this mountain now." Seriously, send a plane. Send a helicopter. We can pay. If you don't believe me about the dark plane, our own plane's wreckage is real enough. Sharp and still smoking. Smelling like burnt plastic. A chemical assault on the pristine peak. When the plane went down, Bella and I got tossed around pretty bad. And the pilot, who'd been nice to us, hit the windshield. Bella's over there. You can sort of see her. She doesn't want me to come closer with the camera. She hates looking weak. I've been going through Myerton's packs in between melting snow for drinking water so she won't get dehydrated. Sorry, that was a wide shot. Don't enlarge it, okay? Bella would hate it. Look over here, at the mountain. The sun's up pretty high now, so I can show you the peak. Can you get a good angle on it? The shadow coming off the peak is still there. Faded in the sunlight, but there. I don't know how that's happening. Maybe it's an optical illusion? Or ice crystals in the air? If I turn in the right direction, where the clouds come up to the cliff, my shadow does the same thing. Forms a giant, dark version of me. Sometimes there's a glow around it. And there's the dark plane again. Can you see it? Maybe this is hypoxia. Or a concussion. If you can't see it, the plane or my shadow, maybe it's my brain cells dying. No, I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to keep it together. For Bella, for everyone. Wait, I think I have a good image of the peak. Good enough you can use it to find us. I'm going to let you worry about rescuing us and just keep sending video. We have a lot of other worries to handle while you do that. Myerton's off in the snow a ways. The pilot's still in the plane. Bella's stuck. And I can't find more than 2 days' worth of food in the wreckage. And the flares are all spilled down the cliffside. 2 are still burning. Barely. Sending more smoke into the clouds and making the light and shadows really weird. It feels deliberate. Can shadows be deliberate? I don't think we'll survive up here long, which is a relief. I wouldn't want to have to think about what else we could eat to survive. It's hard posting these, not knowing if you see them. We're so used to feedback, to likes and shares and reposts. Now, the silences are terrifying. I'm going to go sit with Bella for a bit until I can stay calm. I'll be back. July 8th, 9:20. Latitude, null. Longitude, 1 degree east. Okay, a bunch of things just happened all at once. I dropped the handset running. Found it again. I hope it's still working. Bella doesn't care anymore whether you see her or not. I brought her Meyerton's pack and she got it open. Found all his papers and files. Some were soaked and ruined already. Some, when we pulled them out, the wind or something started howling and almost swept them out of our hands. That's when I dropped the handset. Thank God I got it back. Here, look, you have to see what we're seeing so there's a record. All of this has to do with Sovyagi Pass. As much as it has to do with anything. Goddamn Sovyagi Pass. If you've climbed outside of the Americas over the past 30 years, you might know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've seen some of the pictures, before and after. The happy hikers, the torn-apart tents, the bodies, what was left of them. You've heard no one really ever found out what happened. A story meant to scare hikers into playing it safe. Well, Bella found a photo. An original happy hiker before photo in Meyerton's stupid knapsack. Except Meyerton's in this photo. He's in it, wearing a lab coat. Bella found a lot of other stuff, too. Things that are just freaking us out. We don't want to be anywhere near this kind of thing. We're just climbers? We don't... I mean, shit. What's in these documents? It's all experiments on people. And I have to tell you, I think we were next. Seriously. He brought tools. Wait, I have to remember to number the transmissions. Social feed will get this out of order, and no one will come. And that will be bad. This is transmission 4, I think? Or 5? Of number, holy shit, get us out of here. If this is the first of these you're seeing, please, someone, find a way to locate us. First, we freaked because we found Meyerton's papers. Lots of folders stamped top secret and ultra secret in red, and shadow in a shimmery black. Check that out. When Bella flipped the folder back and forth in the noon light, it cast its own shadow. At least I think it did. Then the wind started to howl, or the shadows did. Now we're kind of losing our minds up here, so humor us. We're trying to survive. There's a whole folder on the Sovyagi Pass, Bella said. I'll be damned. Everyone talks about the Sovyagi Pass. A bunch of people claimed recently they knew what had happened, finally. But given what I know now, I seriously doubt it. Still, that's part of why a few ascents near Gankar were shut down. The Bhutan royal family was so alarmed they declared the whole area off-limits, not just Gankar. I can't think about the details. Not how the one female hiker was found frozen, clutching a fistful of teeth. Not hers, by the fire. Not that her eyes and tongue were missing. Or that reports said she'd bled to death from the sockets. Not the 4 others discovered a half-mile away, wearing only long johns. They dug a pit, too? Their bodies were splayed in a circle around it, fingers and feet touching. No eyes there either. The 6th hiker was never found. Oh, God, don't let us go like that, okay? I hate to think if the 6th was Meyerton, but the photo Bella found sure looks that way. The thing about the 4 bodies they recovered? They had no shadows. That was all anyone talked about. No shadows, even in the bright lights of the morgue. Somewhere along the way, one of the reports in Meyerton's pack said, The shadows were expurgated from the bodies. The reports made that seem like a success. Bella's poring through the pages. These wackos thought shadows were separate beings. Something called symbiosis? Symbiotes, I correct. I'm the one who studied biology in school. She took sports and business classes. I promised her that I'd keep the camera away from her as much as possible, but I'm shaking so hard. And she can't shake much. She has to stay calm. So I have to stay calm. The way the planes trapped her, the metal and fiberglass maw grasping her too tight to free her, but not enough to kill her. Unless it moves. Or she moves. She takes a deep breath, reads some more. Symbiotes. And the file says they came out on the mountain, near the pass, at least by the GPS data. She pointed to the other side of the mountain. That they were here because of the way the local light intensified shadows. It says that the wind in the bowl may produce some infrasound, or else there's radiation? Something that makes the shadows detach from their hosts and become... It's blacked out. Nicole, the researchers were trying to call them... She reads farther down the file as the low hum from the wind pitched higher, making me pull at my painful ears. Into service? What the fuck does that mean? Look, you can see too. Read the documents. See all the stamps? This is the evidence everyone wants, right? So figure out how to come get it, and us too. The camera's shaking. Sorry about that. Because I'm shaking. Maybe even panicking. So hard. They believed they could separate shadows from people? Why the hell would anyone want to do that? Bella reads, in order to gain the best possible stealth advantage, all attempts must be made. She pauses, gasping for breath. Nicole, they sent an entire unit of scientists out here to attempt to make shadow spies? 5 researchers plus 1... thaumaturge? What the hell is that? I look at the date on the file. That's D&D stuff. Why are Cold War guys talking this? What's a thaumaturge? How do you know this? I rack my brain. I'd played the game at base camp a few years ago. One of the guides wanted to be a thaumaturge. It's a worker of miracles. It's just a hopped-up word for magician. Myerton the magician. Oh my God, Bella, what the hell? These people? The wind picks up, and I grab a crisp sheet of new paper. A research proposal dated this year. New results. More experiments needed. Failure not an option. We absolutely should have asked more questions. Magicians? Working for the government? Which government? The wind tears at the papers again, getting fighty. I fight back. Half the folders bear NSA stamps. United States. Another third are MI5. Britain. Probably working for whomever would pay. Just like us. Sounds like they didn't fare so well. Bella sounds scared of everything. Serves her right. She'd wanted to come more than I did. Just like us, maybe. It's mean. She begins to cry then, softly. Bella, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. We just need to get out of here, out of this wind, down from this altitude, away from these shadows. The sun moves like the small hand on the clock. Even though it's higher now, it's heading inexorably for the dark side of the evening. We'll freeze then. Or the shadows that are already flickering on the edges of our crash site will come get us. Or we'll go to join them, if the Sovyagi Pass stories are to be believed. Hurry. Someone. Anyone. July 8th, 1310. Latitude, parameters not defined. Longitude, null. You have to be seeing this. Are you seeing this? The shadows on the peak? They're getting longer, wreathed with lights. Especially near where Myerton's body lies. The ones over by him bend together like they're whispering. The ones near Bella's feet reach for her, then draw back.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?